Hi everyone, I'd just like to share with you our experience on how we spent 7 days on the Rain Road in Iceland. It was a long queue at the car rental company at the airport of the capital city of Iceland, Reykjavik. Got our car finally after 2 hours. First stop is to get to the hotel and check in, and this hotel is in the downtown of the capital city of Iceland, Reykjavik. Okay, the interior decor is very Scandinavian, minimalism, not bad. Well, consider we only stay here for one evening. It has everything we need. We booked this online. Okay, today is the first day of the trip. We'll be driving whole day and to a city in the north called Akureyri. We plan to start the journey after lunch, so we had the whole morning to tour around the city of Reykjavik. Reykjavik has about 250,000 population, accounts for 60% of the whole nation's population. And this church is probably one of the icons in the city. So happen it is right in front of the restaurant we made the reservation. Okay, the journey starts right after lunch. We plan to make a few stops for toilet, getting some refreshments and do some sightseeing. The landscape of Iceland is so different from many parts of the world. In just 6.5 hours we finally get to the destination. This is the apartment we booked online. Everything is self-service. Within 24 hours before the check-in, you will get the access code to your apartment. Okay, once you open the door, you see a double bed right in front of you. This is quite strange though, but later on you found out the design is not bad. Then you see the bathroom right after it. The bathroom is fine, very Scandinavian style again. You get everything you need, and then after the bathroom you come into a living room and a kitchen as well. This apartment is perfect for a family of 4. The sofa in the living room, when you pull it out, it becomes a double bed. Okay, after getting the room, we go out to take a look of the city Akureyri, and you see this is the downtown area. This city has a population of 20,000 people, but if you look at this downtown and the surrounding buildings, not bad at all. And this is the restaurant where we made the booking for our dinner tonight, Centrum. Well, look at the decoration, not bad at all for a city of 20,000 people. I like this bar, so chic. Wow, look at this food menu and wine list. Thanks again our F&B manager, she has done a good job. Okay, let's take a try of the wines here. Well, we felt so blessed for being able to find such a good restaurant in this town. We enjoyed it very much. Well, here comes the journey of the second day. 5 activities, a busy one. Driving wise, less than 2 hours in total. The first stop is Waterfalls. That's called Waterfalls. Isn't it beautiful? We park outside on the west side parking lot and then walk along there to watch it from the west. After then, we walk through a footbridge to the east side and watch the falls again from another angle. I made some zoom shots there because this area allows flying zooms, and make sure you do your homework before you fly your zooms in. The second stop is to go to a place, well, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but where you see a lot of craters, but these are not real craters, they are fake. These pseudo craters were formed by many years ago when some volcano eruptions where hot lava passed by certain cold areas and with heat and pressure meet together to form this crater-look landscape. They look like real volcano craters, but they are not. Later on today we'll be seeing some real volcano craters, then you can make the comparison between the two. We spent 2 hours there, including having lunch in a local restaurant nearby. Then it comes to the third event today, visit a lava field. There are a few hiking trails you can choose from, and we took the blue one, and it was about 3 kilometers. In total we spent about 75 minutes over there, and it was fun. Well, the trail turned out to be not too difficult, and everybody could do it with ease and with fun. Okay, here comes the fourth activity of the day. We go visit a real crater. Now you see, this one is huge and tall. Cannot compare to those we visited earlier today. This volcano is said to have gone through a big eruption 2,500 years ago, but is now dormant. We walked all the way up to the top of the crater, and the diameter of the crater is said to be 1 kilometer. If you walk around the edge of this crater, it's about 4.5 kilometers, meaning more than 1 hour. But we didn't have the luxury of time, so we didn't do it. This is the satellite image from Google Earth. Isn't it amazing? After the real crater, only 10 minutes drive, we have come to this geothermal area. By looking at the landscape, you feel like you are in the middle of a desert, but this is more than a desert. You're just surrounded by all these big and small, colorful, smoking water ponds, and there's a big scenes of sulfur all over the place. After spending about 30 minutes here, we go to the final destination of today, our hotel in Mathis. Mathis is actually the name of a lake. This lake is about 100 kilometers away from Apolllo, where we started off today. As you can see, there's nothing nearby this hotel except for a church and a few houses. However, there is a very nice spa just 10 minutes drive from this hotel, and a few of our team members went there after dinner, and they all said very good. Now this is inside the hotel. Again, the interior decor is very Scandinavian style, minimalism. Something very unusual you see in this room is an electric fan. Well, I don't know why someone needs an electric fan in Iceland. Even in summertime, the weather here is chilly. Yes, chilly. You heard me correctly. For people like us who come from the tropical, this is already colder than the winter we have back home. And surprisingly, the bar and the restaurant were good at this hotel, so we had our dinner there. Okay, here comes the third day of our journey. Only 2 activities today, but both very exciting. The first activity is whale watching in a small town right by the sea, about 1 hour drive from our hotel. Since we arrived early, we had a small tour in this town and find this church. Quite interesting though. Nice and quiet. I like it. This is the ticket office of the world tour, and we made all the bookings and payment online. And they request us to arrive 30 minutes in advance, and now we know why. They requested us to put on 3 jackets, every one of us. The first one was a yellow and a red. That's for keeping warm and waterproof. And the second one was the blue one. This is a windproofing jacket. The blue one was not easy to wear. You need someone to help you. Very clumsy. And the last one was a life jacket, relatively easier because it was slim and light. Okay, it's all set. We go straight to the pier just across the street to catch our boat. And this is the boat we hire for the ride today. It is a speedboat, like those they use in the Navy SEAL. Very pumpy, but not rolling though. And the seats are quite interesting though. You need to have your legs go across like riding a horse.
Everybody's ready. So before we start our trip, I have to say about the safety rules and the safety of the boat.
I got all this potential that's deep inside of me, but they hate when you're successful cause they try to be. They sit there being judgmental because you're trying things, and they just want you to settle and do the right thing. So get a good job, don't slack off, wake up every...
The whale watching tour does not cover only just the whales, but also other animals as well. After 15 minutes pumpy ride, our first stop is this island called Puffin Island. There are more than 1 million birds and puffins come to this island every year to lay eggs, to raise the next generation. And very soon we see dolphins, quite many of them, diving and swimming very close to us.
Atlantic population, because our has white puffins here. These are very white, but these are not. Maybe they are from the Australia, because Australia ones are more dark. Okay, it's one of the differences between these 2 populations.
Okay, very soon we saw a whale just about 200-300 meters in front of us. Wow, very excited. We just slowly chase after it. The whales is getting closer and closer to us. Our pilot is very experienced. There were 2 other boats nearby, but they were not as agile as ours, cause they were bigger. The pilot knows how to get close to the whale, but not hurting it. And at one time the whale was so close to our boat that we could even touch its tail. Look at this. After spending about 2.5 hours in the water, we have finally come to an end of the activity and go back to the pier. Over here we can see the church where we visited in the morning. The next stop is to visit the Waterfalls. It takes a bit of walking to the observation deck from the car park. The landscape here is interesting. There are basically no plantations here, just rocks, big and small. This waterfall is famous not only because it is the largest waterfall in Europe, but also it appears in a few Hollywood blockbusters. After the Waterfalls, we walked upstream for about 15 to 20 minutes. There's another waterfall, Falls. Though a bit smaller in scale, I suggest this is worth to watch since you are already in the area. Okay, day 4. Today is simple, basically just driving from Mathis to Hof, and we will be doing some village hopping too. First stop is to a small town, Iceland, approximately 2 hours drive from the hotel, and we will have our lunch at a local restaurant, Nelson. There's a small story about this restaurant. The chef of this restaurant used to work in a famous Michelin-starred restaurant, but because of his girlfriend, he decided to move to this town and eventually open up a restaurant. The interior decoration is nice and cozy. The food menu and wine lists are not bad too for a small town having just 2,000 population. And the food was nice too. After lunch, we hit the road again. By the way, the reason for village hopping is just to make sure we always stay on the main road, because if you just input the destination Hof on Google Maps, chances are you may be off the main road and driving on some gravel roads as Google thinks appropriate. After a few hours drive, we finally arrive at our destination of today, the Glacier guest house. As you can see, this guest house is in the middle of nowhere, but the scenery is nice. You can see the tongue of the glacier from the room. Excellent views. But the reason why we chose this was because of the location. But this guest house is close to the glacier. All our activities tomorrow are within the glacier area, so rather convenient to stay here. There wasn't much we could do here, so we just had our simple dinner and went to bed because it's going to be a long day tomorrow. We need to reserve our energy. Here comes the 5th day of our journey. All the activities on day 5 are within the Glacier area, and the most exciting one is going to be the Glacier hike. First stop is to go to a Glacier lagoon, where we will be riding an amphibian boat to see the icebergs coming out from the glacier. This is the amphibian boat, first time to try. Once we get onto the boat, first thing first is to take all the safety procedures. Slowly it rolls into the water. Okay, a brief introduction about this glacier. This glacier is actually the world's 3rd largest glacier. The largest one is in the Antarctica, and the 2nd largest one is in Greenland. So this one is easy to reach among the 3. And this glacier occupies about 8% of the whole island's area. The local tour guide said this entire glacier would disappear in 20 to 30 years' time, according to the current global warming situation. What a shame. This is a good wake-up call. It's the time we need to review the way we consume our energy and our lifestyle. The boat ride lasted for about 40 minutes. Then we went back to the shore. After a simple lunch, we headed to the Diamond Beach and walked along the icebergs, throwing towards to the open seas. Now I got to know why this is called Diamond Beach. You can see there are many icebergs being thrusted onto the seashore, and some of them are quite shiny under the sun. They just look like diamonds. The ecosystem around this area is rather rich, I guess partly because of the water here is being diluted by the fresh water from the melting of icebergs. After the Diamond Beach, we walked for about 30 minutes and reached another lagoon. This one is a little smaller than the one we visited in the morning, but still interesting though. On the way out, we happened to see a trailer. This trailer is for rental, designed for those who want to see the northern lights, the aurora. Maybe we should try it in our next visit. Here comes the most exciting part of the tour today, the Glacier hike. First, we need to gear up the necessary safety equipment. They are included in the package. For those who join this activity, I strongly advise you to wear a waterproof jacket, pants and boots, although they are available for rental. After then, we will take a bus to the trailhead.
Sure, a little bit in the fog right now, but you see here you have two.
Along the way, we saw groups of hikers going up and down. I believe this is a popular activity in Iceland. Our tour guide today is a French lady. Iceland needs a lot of foreign workers every year during the peak travel season. Oh, Look at these amazing scenes. We are literally walking on ice. The weather was not perfect that day. There was wind and rain. A bit chilly though.
Yes, I'm very faster. And I forgot to tell you something, but behind the glacier we have the highest peak of Iceland. It's around 2,110 meters. It's not very big, but it's sitting on the edge of a very big volcano. Have you guys been to Trapezist?
After about 3 hours hike, we went back to the trailhead to get back the bus. The final destination of today is a hotel named Falls Hotel, which is about 1 hour drive from the trailhead. Similar to other hotels we stayed in the past 2 days, this one is nice and easy, Scandinavia style again. There's one thing I need to mention to our viewers. Falls Hotel is a hotel chain in Iceland, so make sure you book the right one when you do the online booking. Since we had a long day today, so we just had a simple dinner and go to bed. Okay, today is day 6. We're getting closer to the end of the journey. Today there are 4 activities. We're going to visit 1 canyon, 1 beach and 2 waterfalls. Let's get our breakfast at the hotel before we start. First stop today is to visit a canyon. I don't know how to pronounce this name, but the scenery is just magnificent. This canyon may look familiar to some viewers, because this canyon was used as the location in HBO movie, The Game of Thrones. The scenery is just perfect for drone shooting. Well, I thought drone shooting was not allowed, but only halfway up I realized drone shooting was welcome here. But I left my drone in the car and it was a long walk, so I didn't bother to go back. What a mistake I made. After about 1 hour drive from the canyon, we arrived at our second stop of the day, the Reinlifahara, if I can pronounce it correctly. It's a black sand beach. The landscape here is interesting. Few kilometers long beach is all covered by black sand, and also there are volcano caves. The weather was not perfect the day we visited. Very windy and very cold. Look at the waves and you can tell how windy it was. I tried to fly my drone but not succeeded. Because it was cold, we spent only half an hour on the beach and then rushed into a cafe to enjoy our hot lunch. After the black sand beach, we drove for about half an hour and arrived at Skogger Falls. This waterfall is spectacular. What makes it so special is that you can get very close to it to feel the power of the water splashing onto your body. You can go up to the top of the fall. There is a deck where you can see and hear the water running down. Wow, this is amazing. There are a few trail walks here where you can spend half a day to explore more. But we couldn't afford the time because there were just more waterfalls to see later on. Just half an hour drive from the Skogger Falls, we arrived at another waterfall, the Sutherland's Falls. This waterfall is not as big as the Skoga Falls. Something special about this is that you can literally walk behind the water curtain. Wow, this is so much fun, but make sure you wear waterproof jacket, pants and shoes. Next to the Sutherland's Falls, just about 500 meters away, there's another waterfall. This one is even more interesting to watch, and you can actually touch it. This fall is hidden behind two gigantic rocks, and you need to wade over a short shallow stream before you can see it. After a long day drive and having visited so many spectacular sceneries, we have finally reached our destination of today, the Waterfalls Hotel. Again, this hotel is in the middle of nowhere, but it is just a few minutes drive from our first stop tomorrow, the Waterfalls. Well, no other choice, so we just had dinner at the hotel. The food was not bad though. Time flies. Today is the last day of the trip, and we have 4 activities today. The most exciting one would be visit the Blue Lagoon Midnight Spa. In just a few minutes drive, we reached the first stop of today, the Waterfalls. The water volume of this Waterfalls is not as big as the Trapezist Falls we visited the other day. Still, it is huge. The second stop was to visit the geothermal area, Geyser. The word Geyser actually comes from here. This is the glacier first found in the history of mankind. In every few minutes, hot water blows from this geyser, sometimes high, sometimes low, depends on your luck. There are a few trail walks in this area. If you go up to the hill behind, you will see the whole geothermal area and its surrounding. Very nice view. Took us only 30 minutes to the top, so worth to go. After the geyser, about 45 minutes drive, we arrived at the third stop of today, the Thing Valley National Park. This national park has 2 significant merits. One is about geology, and the other is related to history. The geology part is that this park lies on the 2 tectonic plates where Europe meets America. When you walk in between these 2 plates, on one side it is Europe, and on the other is America. It is quite interesting. These 2 plates are separating to each other, but of course we won't notice it because the measurement unit is in million years. As for the historical part, there is a platform where 2 national events were held, one in 1874 and the other one in 1930, which gave a big impact to the legislation of Iceland before it became republic. Tens of thousands Icelanders assemble here to witness, and there are pictures in records. This national park is big and you can't finish it in a day. Maybe in our next visit to Iceland, we come back again because this park is very close to the capital. After the national park visit, we drove for 1.5 hours to arrive at our hotel. The reason of choosing this hotel is again because of the location. This hotel is just 10 minutes drive from the airport and it's about 15 minutes drive to the Blue Lagoon. We had dinner at the hotel and couldn't wait to visit the Blue Lagoon. On the way to the Blue Lagoon, there was an accident on the road. A car got burned, but the fire was already extinguished. I hope there was no injuries. Wow, we finally arrived at this Blue Lagoon. This is the world-renowned open-air hot spring. Look at the reception area. This is huge. There must be tons of visitors coming here every day. We purchased our admission tickets online in advance just to avoid the queue and to get a little discount.